गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन यमुना तीरो धनचारी यमुना तीरो धनचारी जय राधा माधव बिहारी जय राधा माधव बिहारी जय परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य
Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna, welcome everyone.
You can see the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya cha Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So today we are covering 4th canto, 30th chapter, sloka number 19. So much has happened here, just that you get an idea of the topics that were actually covered. I'm not going into the topics, but just for you to know. So after the Daksha Yajna, Brahma and Lord Shiva satisfy, everybody satisfies Lord Shiva, and then Shiva gives back the life to Daksha. And then later the descendants of the Manu are given here, and Dhruva and his brother's life is given, and Dhruva Maharaj, how he becomes self-realized. That is a very important chapter phase, where in 6 months he becomes God realized, fully practicing under the direction of Narad Muni. So when he is completely self-realized, he actually makes prayers to Krishna. So those prayers I would like us to learn. So we will learn those, and then later there is a fight between Dhruva Maharaj and Yakshas. So all that is over. Then Swayambhu Manu advises Dhruva to stop fighting because his brother was killed by Yaksha. So Dhruva Maharaj takes revenge on that. So after that, the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj were discussed, and then a very bad king called Vena happens to come. So the Brahmanas actually kill the Vena with their powers, and from their body actually they bring out another personality called Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj does wonderful sacrifices, and he becomes a very great personality. In fact, his sacrifices are so great, Vishnu personally wanted to come and be the guest. So Vishnu gives him instructions how to actually be a good king. And Prithu Maharaj, the milks Mother Earth. She comes in the form of a cow, and then he takes out all the beautiful things, that gifts of earth. And then during that time, he wanted to do 100 Aswamedha Yajnas, and again, once more, Indra becomes envious, and he thinks of stealing the cow. Horse. Indra steals a horse of Prithu Maharaj, and then his son, Prithu Maharaj's son, actually he actually sees Indra stealing it, but he doesn't punish him because he knows he's a great personality, and he lets go, let go of that stealing. So Indra becomes pleased, and he gives him a blessing to become Antardhana. He can, at his own will, he can be appearing or disappearing. So Prithu Maharaj's son gets that blessing, and then the descendants of Prithu Maharaj are given. And then there is one great grandson, Prachina Barhi. Prachina Barhi has 10 sons, Prachetas. So these 10 sons of Prachetas are very, very exemplary for their behavior and cooperation. So Prachina Barhi instructs them to populate the world. So these 10 brothers go for meditation to get the best progeny. So they also are very nice devotees. So knowing their intent to actually get God realization, for their good fortune, they meet Lord Shiva. So this is another prayers I want to also us to learn. Chanting a song sung by Lord Shiva. It's called Rudra Gita, and it's very wonderful. just to give you a flavor of what Lord Shiva says. Um, okay, you can see here. Lord Shiva became very pleased with the Prachetas because generally Lord Shiva is a protector of pious persons and persons of gentle behavior. Being very much pleased with the princess, he began to speak as follows. Lord Shiva said, "You are the sons of King Prachinabarhi, and I wish all good fortune to you. I also know what you are going to do, and therefore I am visible to you just to show my mercy upon you." Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature, as well as the living entities, is actually very dear to me. So if we want to please Lord Shiva, he's saying you should surrender to Krishna. A person who executes his occupational duty properly for 100 births becomes qualified to occupy the post of Brahma. And if he becomes more qualified, then he can approach Lord Shiva. A person who is directly surrendered to Krishna or Vishnu in unalloyed devotional service is immediately promoted to the spiritual planets. Lord Shiva and other demigods attain these planets after the destruction of this material world. Since you are all devotees of the Lord, and as such, I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me and that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be dear to the devotees as I am. Now he's saying, I shall chant one mantra which will not only which is not only transcendental, pure and auspicious, but is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it very carefully and attentively. So this mantra, it continues, the whole chapter is the mantra that he chants. So we can actually learn this chapter. So Lord Shiva says, if one who chants this, he's guaranteed for self-realization. He becomes eligible at so that's a beautiful prayer there. So Prachetas, after they finish all their meditation, they already got the mercy of Lord Shiva. And now their activities are being glorified here. And they are making certain statements on devotional service because they also married and they also have children, but they are also doing devotional service and they're giving an assurance. So even if you are a grihastha and practicing devotional life, sometimes it so happens that we are affected by material love, material affection, material objects, and then we might feel that we might be slipping away from Krishna consciousness. But here, this sloka is so nice, they are giving assurance that nothing like that would happen if we keep our focus in Krishna consciousness while being in Grihastha life. So the sloka goes like this. Gruheshu avishatam chapi Gruheshu avishatam chapi
Gruheshu Avishitaram Chapi. 1 minute.
Pumsam.
Haribol, can you put it in the other slide because this is in only English?
Okay. Okay. Gruheshu avishitam chapi
Gruheshu
Gruheshu
avishitam
avishatam
chapi
chapi
pumsam
pumsam
kushala
kusala
karmanam
karmanam
pumsam kushala karmanam
pumsam kushala karmanam
kushala karmanam
mad
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 varta
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 yata
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 yamanam
yamana
yamana
madvarta yata yamanam
mad varta yata yamana
na
na
bandhaya
bandhaya
gruha
gruha
mataha
mataha
na bandhaya gruha mataha
na bandhaya gruha mataha
Hare
gruhe
Krishna. Enlarge नहीं हो पाएगा.
can you enlarge?
Not enlarging. I'm unable to read. Sorry for interruption.
No,
That's
no.
It's okay. Sorry. Now I will read.
Good, good.
gruheshu avishatam chapi
Gruheshu
avishatam
chapi
chapi
pumsham kushala karmanam
pumsam kushala karmana
madvarta yata yamanam
matvarta yata yamana
na bandhaya gruha mataha
na bandhaya grahamataha
gruheshu avishatam chapi
gruheshu vavisatam chapi
pumsham kushala karmanam
pumsam kushala
kushala
karmana
karmanam
madvarta yata yamanam
madvarta yata yamana
yamanam
na bandhaya gruha mataha
na bandhaya
bandhaya
grahamataha
mataha.
తెలుగు అత్త చదువుతావా
తెలుగా
తెలుగు తెలుగు
భక్తి యోగపు మంగళ కార్యములలో నెలకొనిన వారు సమస్త కర్మల చరమభోక్త దేవదేవుడే అని ఎరిగియుందురు. ఆ విధముగా కర్మల యందు నెలకొనిన వాడు కర్మల ఫలమును నాకే అర్పించి నా లీలా శ్రవణమునందే ఎల్లప్పుడూ నియుక్తుడై యుండును. అట్టివాడు గృహస్థ జీవనమున ఉన్నప్పటికీ తన కర్మ ఫలములచే ప్రభావితుడు కాడు.
हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण.
हिंदी
मैं रीड प्रभु जी.
हाँ प्लीज.
जो लोग भक्ति के शुभ कार्यों में लगे होते हैं वह ये भली भांति समझते हैं कि पूर्ण पुरुषोत्तम भगवान ही समस्त कर्मों के परम भोक्ता हैं. अतः जब भी ऐसा व्यक्ति कोई कार्य करता है तो कर्म फल भगवान को अर्पित कर देता है और भगवान की कथाओं में व्यस्त रहते हुए ही सारा जीवन बिताता है. ऐसा व्यक्ति गृहस्थ आश्रम में रहकर भी कर्म फलों से प्रभावित नहीं होता. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Hare Krishna. Can you put that that down? Yeah, that's better. No. Yeah, correct.
English. Anju, you want to read? Anju Didi, you can read.
Hanji. Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his actions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is a very nice assurance. So sometimes we might think that, especially somebody outside might also see, oh, these people, they are also very materialistic. They also have everything like us. They have a house, they have a car, they have everything, they have a job. What is it that they are claiming that they are devotees? And what is the difference between a materialistic person and a devotee's life? So somebody might think like that. But if you are dedicated for all your activities, you want to serve only Krishna, please Krishna, but you are in a grihastha life. So Krishna protects such a devotee even while he is in a devotee grihastha life, and those activities will not bind the devotee, and especially at the time of death, he will be given that kind of vairagya for only being attached to the lotus feet of Krishna and only talk about Krishna and hear his name. And we have seen time and again so many devotees who are especially leaving their bodies, who have been practicing nice devotional service for the last 50, 60 years and leaving their body in a wonderful way. So here Prabhupada is giving very nice quotations how devotee makes Krishna in their life, in the center of the life of all the activities. Because Krishna makes the recommendation, like just like here, today, so many people are sending WhatsApp messages, friendship day, friendship day. But Prabhupada is giving very nice example. The true friend is Krishna. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam. So he is the true friend. So in Sanskrit, in English, there is only one word, friend. But in Sanskrit, there are three different words. What kind of friend? There is bandhu, there is mitra, then there is suhrit. So bandhu is like an official friend. Mitra is like a social friend. But suhrit means somebody who actually cares for you and only looks, he wishes for your good. He is called a suhrit. So Krishna is that suhrit. So he naturally is a very good friend of the devotees, and devotees also are developing this, cultivating this relationship with Krishna. That is their whole activity. Even though we have to run our household by going for a job or doing some business and earning some money, but if the main focus of devotees' life, their goal of life is all those activities, whatever you are doing, are going to support your devotional life, not the other way around. Not you do so many other things, you do some devotional life so that it supports your material life. No, it should be the other way around. All your material activities should be supporting your spiritual activity. In that way, if a devotee is focused and his main goal of life is to please Krishna and to propagate the message of Krishna consciousness, then he will definitely be protected by Krishna, and especially to remember Krishna at the time of death. So here you see, Yagnartat karma, anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. So everything that you perform in this world has to be performed as yajna. Sorry for the disturbance in the background. Something is going on. So, iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira nikilasva api avastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. So, to get mukti, you don't have to actually give up your body. So, generally people think only when you die, you get liberation. But here, when you practice Krishna consciousness, it is not so. If you are serious, of course. If you are serious in your practice of devotional service, not lip service, you are truly doing your sadhana, you are performing all the activities as recommended by the Guru and the scriptures, then if one engages himself in the service of the Lord throughout his life with wealth, words, intelligence, and everything he possesses, he will always be liberated in any condition. Such a person is called Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated during this lifetime. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, those who are engaged in material activities simply become more entangled in material bondage. They have to suffer and enjoy the actions and reactions of all activity. In Krishna consciousness movement, this Krishna consciousness movement is therefore the greatest boon to humanity because it keeps one always engaged in Krishna's service. So it is not a lip service. You know, you do whatever you want and you want to say, oh, I've offered this to Krishna. So it is not like that. It is actually working for Krishna. Devotees think of Krishna, act for Krishna, eat for Krishna, sleep for Krishna, work for Krishna. Thus, everything is engaged in the service of Krishna. A total life in Krishna consciousness saves one from material contamination. So, Krishna bhajane yaha yaha anukula vishaya bhaliya tyage taha hai bhula. If one is so expert that he can engage everything or dovetail everything in the service of Krishna, to give up the material world would be a great blunder. One should learn how to dovetail everything in the service of the Lord, for everything is connected to Krishna. That is the real purpose of life and secret of success, as reiterated later in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Tasmad ashakta satatam karyam karma samachara ashakto hi acharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So, when you are talking of karma yoga, that is only a practice. It's only like a training. We all know the sloka, famous sloka, karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu karma phala. So, whatever karma phala you are getting, you should not be attached to the result. The result, actually, why that training is given, so that you should understand the result is given to Krishna for that training. So karma yoga, when you perform and then if you don't offer it to Krishna, that is incomplete. So you are still in the internship. Bhakti yoga in internship, that is karma yoga. So bhakti yoga in internship, when you're practicing Ashtanga, it is called Ashtanga yoga. So you are still an intern in Bhakti yoga and you are studying the scriptures, then you are a Jnana yogi. So when you know the connection, when you know you are going to graduate in the field of karma, jnana or yoga, then it is still called Bhakti Yoga. Even though you are an intern, but your goal is you are enrolled for the final course, Bhakti Yoga, then even though you are practicing Karma Yoga, then it is called Bhakti. So if you don't know the purpose of why you are doing Karma, Jnana or Yoga, those yogas, if it is not connected to Krishna, or if you don't have the idea that ultimately it will be connected to Krishna, then that is incomplete. That is not Bhakti. The third chapter of Bhagavad Gita specifically considers material activities for the purpose of sense gratification and material activities for the purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. The conclusion is that these are not one and the same. Material activities for sense gratification are the cause of material bondage, whereas the very same activities for the satisfaction of Krishna cause liberation. How the same activity can cause bondage and liberation is explained as follows. One may get indigestion due to eating too many milk preparations, condensed milk, sweet rice, and so on. But even though there is indigestion or diarrhea, another milk preparation, which is yogurt, mixed with black pepper and salt, will immediately cure these maladies. In other words, one milk preparation can cause indigestion or diarrhea, and another milk preparation can cure you. So like that, the same activity, if you are doing it for sense gratification, then that will be the cause of bondage. The same activity, if it is done for the pleasure of Krishna, will give you liberation. Jivan Mukta. You'll become Jivan Mukta. If one is placed in material opulence due to the special mercy of the Supreme Lord, he should not consider that opulence a cause of bondage. When a mature devotee is blessed with material opulence, he does not become affected adversely, for he knows how to employ material opulence in the service of the Lord. There are many such examples in the history of the world. There were kings like Prithu Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka, Dhruva, Vaivashvata Manu, and Maharaj Ikshvaku. All of these were great kings and were especially favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If a devotee is not mature, the Supreme Lord will take away all his opulence. This principle is stated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yasyaham anugrahami harishye tat dhanam shane. My first mercy shown to my devotee is to take away all his material opulence. Material opulence, detrimental to devotional service, is taken away by the Supreme Lord. Whereas a person who is mature in devotional service is given all material facilities. So this is another concept. Sometimes because of our conditioning, because of our upbringing, we think when you practice devotional life, you should become very opulent. You should get a lot of material wealth, material benefits. Sometimes these benefits, material benefits, are removed or taken away from the devotee, from a serious devotee. That is, Krishna is saying, Tasyaham anugrahami. That is my anugrah, my anugraham. Means that's my mercy. I'm taking away all these material things from you. Why? Because that is a distraction for you in your devotional service. So Krishna knows that and he's removing such things. So he's removing from such a devotee. But sometimes he's actually granting more material benefits and opulence. Like he gave the example of here, Prithu Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka, Dhruva, Vaivashvata Manu, and Ikshvaku. These are all great kings who got blessed with lots of material opulence because these devotees knew how to engage all the wealth in glorifying Krishna. So sometimes it may happen that if we get so much money, we might be distracted. So if you really made a pledge, Krishna, I want to be your servant, I want to become your devotee, then Krishna, out of his kindness and mercy, can very kindly remove those material opulences from us, only for helping us to grow in devotional life. Until now, any questions I can take? No questions?
రాజు,
Huh.
ఆప్యులెన్స్ అంటే అటాచ్మెంట్స్ అనా?
No, opulence ante aishwaryam.
Oh. Okay.
Material opulence. Opulence ante aishwaryam. Riches. All types of riches.
Okay.
Yesterday in the class, you told that we have to
Okay.
love Krishna and we have to worship him. So, which is the best way to worship him? Like a son, like a God, or like a friend? How?
Mhm.
Or like a brother? Which is the best way? Or guru?
Yeah. So initially, those emotions of worshipping Krishna with emotions are not recommended. You are only worshipping Krishna as a servant of Krishna, that's all, only one way. Your emotions, I understand there are so many 5 rasas by which one worships Krishna, but that is in a advanced stage, not in the initial stage. Initial stage, we are all accepting Krishna as our master and we are a servant. That is the only mood in which you serve Krishna.
Prabhuji, can it be called as dasras?
Dasya rasa, but that
Dasya-
rasa we still don't have, but you can only accept that position as dasya.
Dasya.
To be dasya also, dasa also is very, very big position. It is not easy. So we want to be servant of the servant of the servant. So because we don't even know how to be a dasa of Krishna, so we want to be like an internship again, like apprentice, they say, like that apprentice. You want to be doing shadow work. How to serve Krishna in the shadow of another devotee who is a great devotee. Like that, you have to learn to be a dasa. So once you
Okay.
learn, then automatically, slowly, you will be able to be a dasa yourself. And the best way, Prabhupada always explained, the secret of becoming a dasa is grasp the mood of a pure devotee and to please him, and to make that mood as your life and soul. I don't have any other life agenda. Like that, you should make that mood as your own life agenda. Then the pure devotee becomes pleased, and that bhakti lata bij, the seed of bhakti, the pure devotion to practice Shuddha Bhakti, that gets implanted in your heart. That is a secret.
Okay.
So that is why all the devotees try to, because Prabhupada directly told, if you spread this message of Bhagavad Gita to everybody, distribute my books and explain what is there in the books so that people become interested to read them. That pleases Prabhupada most. And that is why most devotees want to take this mood and serve Prabhupada. And that is why we all want to do this activity of reading Prabhupada books and making others also give an opportunity for everybody to hear what is Krishna consciousness. People have to ultimately make their own choice, but we have to provide the opportunity. And as a disciple, as a sevak, this is your activity you have to perform. And that way Krishna becomes happy, because it is not easy. When you want to talk about Krishna, it is not easy. It might look very simple. Unless you are specially blessed by Krishna, you cannot glorify Krishna. You cannot glorify Krishna.
And Krishna will bless when you are pleasing his devotee.
Yes.
So that is the way, that's the,
So you have to do so much meditation 24 hours, so much so that from your mouth, the words of Krishna will come in such a manner that it will convince the other person about Krishna and to surrender up to Krishna. Because nobody can surrender to Krishna unless they know who is Krishna. Why is Krishna so great? You have to explain very, very well. If you do not, then that person will not be interested to surrender to Krishna. Why should I surrender to Krishna? First they will ask you. Then what you will tell you? You are stuck right there. So you have to go back and read. So when you have to read, that means you are meditating so much. And you cannot understand the subject just like that even if you read. So you have to chant the holy names of Krishna, Hare Krishna Mahamantra very attentively. Then only you will understand. This is a very open secret. This is a confidential message. It says, you're not the body, you're the spirit soul. You can read like 100 times, but it doesn't make any sense if you are not in touch with the holy name. But moment you touch the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Keep on chanting very nicely, very attentively, daily, without any break. Then, when you read the same paragraph, same sentence, somehow it clicks. Wow, it makes sense. Suddenly, these doubts will vanish. Is there another life after death? These kind of questions will immediately come to you. And all the answers, it will be so clear. So in that preparation of sadhana, reading, and then preparing your mind, then to present the same subject matter to others, the whole thing is a package that you have to engage so much, including eating everything that you eat should be prasadam. If you don't eat prasadam, then again your consciousness, you will be affected by tamoguna and rajoguna. When you start to read, you feel either agitated or sleepy. You cannot read this subject. So it's a package deal. You cannot just simply do without one, you can leave some things and you can do only one thing. You cannot do like that. You can try, but it won't be effective. So when you have your life centered around Krishna like this, then definitely by the end of life, you will remember Krishna. But otherwise, you cannot. By lip service, no. Just by show off, show bottle bhakti. Show bottle bhakti cannot take you anywhere. That's what people do. Nowadays, all puja, everything that happens is a show off. People are just trying to show how nicely they decorated their house or altar, even their altar inside the house. They want to show off. They call people, and all the people who come also, they want to show off their dresses and jewelry that they are wearing. So the whole thing is a show business. How much food they have arranged so elaborately, that is another show off. So there's no bhakti. So that type of show bottle bhakti will not take us anywhere. So all devotional practices are meant for purification, both internal and external, especially internal. And purification means sarvopadi vinirmuktam. As soon as you are in this material world, there is an influence of material nature, and the influence of material nature means immediately it makes you think you are matter. I am this body. And all the matter, material objects also belong to me. Matter belongs to me, body belongs to me, whatever is connected to the body is also belonging to me. This is the influence of material nature on us. Unless you're free from that, material influence, you cannot serve Krishna. You cannot want to please Krishna. Otherwise, you're always thinking of how to please myself. Because the material nature is influencing, making you think I'm this body. That is the problem. So it has to, you have to go out of this influence. Like yesterday I was saying, you are under the influence, intoxication. Somebody is intoxicated. He'll talk any nonsense. This house is mine. That girl, lady is walking, that she's my wife. It all sounds silly, right? When he's drunk, he's telling, oh, any girl who's walking by, he says, she's my wife. How silly it sounds. But for a liberated person, when we are saying, this is my wife, this is my body, this is my house, it sounds exactly like that for a liberated person. You're mad, man. You're intoxicated. That's why you're thinking it is yours. Because you yourself are not that body. So devotional service is this. You have to please Krishna. How do you please Krishna? Only if you know your Atma. Only if you know your Atma, you will please Krishna. If you don't know your Atma, then what are you? I am the body. So what you will please? Please the body. So it's connected, you see. So the subject matter is connected right there. So if you don't know that your Atma, and if you are not acting on that platform, your bhakti or bhajatam priti purvakam, that will not begin. So for that, what you should do? You should worship Krishna with your intelligence. And we read in the 18th chapter, what is the last sloka? Krishna says, one who has read the entire Bhagavad Gita worships me with his intelligence. Hope you remember that sloka.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how you worship, you purify your intelligence by reading every single sloka very scrutinizingly, Bhagavad Gita. Then you understand who is Krishna. Then you understand what is dharma. Then you understand, oh, all dharma is only supportive dharma. The real dharma is sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. Only one dharma is to serve Krishna. You will come to that conclusion. Then your bhakti begins.
విజయదుర్గ గారు మీకు అర్థం అవుతుందా?
మాతాజీ అర్థమవుతుంది మాతాజీ.
ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉందా?
ఏం లేదు మాతాజీ, చెప్తుంటే చక్కగా ఉంది, వింటూ కూర్చున్నా.
ఓకే, అంటే తెలుగులో చెప్పలేదు కదా, అందుకే
లేదు కొంచెం అర్థం కాబట్టి వెంటనే ప్రభుని అడుగుతాను కదా.
సరే,
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ. So I think we'll stop the class here. If there's no other question,
Sure.
We can do the next sloka next week.
Yes.
So no other questions? Anybody else has questions? Okay, so we can just chant 3 times Hare Krishna.
Sure.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की
जय।
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। वांछा
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Assemble सारे भक्तों की जय। हरे कृष्णा, and we will meet you again.
Lakshmi aunty wants to say something.
You want to say something?
Nothing. It's nice.
Okay.
నాకు ఒక చిన్న డౌట్ ఉండింది.
Sure.
అదేంటంటే when you are not involved in Krishna consciousness while doing the devotional services, you are more entangled than each other.
More entangled?
అంతేనా?
Yeah, we
In
are
the worldly
entangled
matters.
already. No, we are already entangled.
Okay.
So the question is how our entanglement ante it's just like tying a rope. One time, why do you
And
tie a rope? So that it is secure. You want to be
ఇంకొకటి చిన్నది
doubly
ఏంటంటే
secure. You want to be doubly secure. What you will do? You tie another knot on top of that,
అంతే.
and then you tie another knot, and then you tie another knot. So then,
మూడు
okay,
ముళ్ళు.
more. You keep putting. So
అది కాదు.
that's how material world, we are all entangled.
అది రాజు ఇంకొకటి చెప్పావు అందులో. If you are not involved in Krishna consciousness, God will take away whatever you have.
No, that is
But
for a
we won't
devotee.
do that if you are involved in Krishna consciousness అని ఇచ్చావు లాస్ట్ లో.
No. That is
That
if
is a
you are
little more
involved.
scary.
Yes, people think it is scary. People think it is scary because they don't know what is Krishna's mercy. If Krishna takes away, that is why Krishna's name is Hari. Hari means one who steals. Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami. Of all types of thieves, Krishna is the best thief, topmost thief. Right? But what kind of thief is he? Now, there is a beautiful verse, there is a beautiful poem actually. I can share that with you. So beautiful. So, Bilu Mangal Thakur he wrote that poem. He said, this thief, so swiftly he comes, you can't even make out. All you have to do is take his name. Then he comes and all your hard-earned sins, for mountains of sins that you collected from many lifetimes, he will take away everything. He'll take away everything. You don't even know how he did that. See, such a thief he is. So when Krishna takes away something, he makes everything pure. He makes everything pure in your life.
Not only that, he is giving you, when he's taking something away, he's giving you the understanding of himself. If he is taking himself, just imagine. If he's decided that he wants to take it from
boon.
you.
That's the greatest boon.
Get his greatest
Just like
boon.
Another example is like this. Suppose you are in India. Now you are coming to America for good. There's nothing. You are not going to stay in India. So, but you still have a lot of Indian rupees. What is the use of that Indian rupees? So there is a last counter, immigration counter. They'll tell, Madam, all your Indian rupees will be of no use. What you want to do with those rupees? Then you'll say, okay, take it, convert it into whatever you want and then give me. Right? Like that, when a devotee is advancing in Krishna consciousness, that means he has no business in this material world. Next destination, where is he going? He's going to Vaikuntha. So whatever you have accumulated, all that Krishna will convert it into bhakti for you. And that bhakti with preeti, that preeti bhavam, that preeti, today we don't have that preeti for Krishna. We have preeti for ourselves. Na koduku, na pillalu, na illu, na sariramu. Dini kosam preeti undi. But we don't have preeti for the Lord. That conversion, Krishna does that for you. He converts all these things that are around you by stealing, by Harana, and he converts it into love for Krishna. How wonderful that is.
Sometimes people have karma that they have to suffer by them giving away. They have to lose everything. That is another type. If that is there, then it is just normal karma. Somebody is very millionaire and he just lost everything, that is one type. But if somebody is practicing devotional service and then it happens then he should understand that it is part of karma, of course, but another part is Krishna is blessing that person and he's taking it away because he doesn't want the devotee to be attached to these things, and he wants the devotee to be attached to the Lord directly. That is a special favor actually by the Lord. So if
because
he is
in the
doing,
end of life, you don't want to cry, ammo my money, ammo my this, ammo my pillalu. No. You want to cry, oh Krishna, Govinda, Hare Krishna. You want to say.
Yeah.
So how will that happen? Somebody has to cut it for you. And this is not artificial. This is not artificial.
తొందరగా
Yes.
అన్ని డిటాచ్మెంట్స్ చేసుకుంటే అప్పుడు ఈజీ అవుతుంది.
మనం చేసుకోవడానికి లేదు, మనం చేయడానికి ఏం లేదు. That is Krishna's blessing. Only by Krishna's blessing that detachment will come to you.
And also when
it is not a mental exercise.
She's saying something.
Detachment is not mental exercise. I will cultivate in the mind detachment. No, you cannot. Detachment has to come from the heart, and Krishna will give that.
And that is when you're progressing in bhakti, that is what will happen. In all other things like karma yoga, jnana yoga, every time you're attached to that, that, oh, I am a good karmi, that bhav will come. But only in bhakti, your bhav is that I'm attached to the Lord. That is what we want. How you're progressing like that. That is the difference, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In jnana means you become very, when you're advanced, oh, I became very intelligent, I've understood so much. But bhakti is what? When you are in bhakti yoga, when you're advancing in bhakti, then these are the two things you will get. Jnana and vairagya. Jnana, vairagya, these are the two things they will fructify in our life. Slowly, it will not come directly, suddenly. Correct?
కర్మ సన్యాస యోగం.
కర్మ సన్యాస యోగం అంటే భక్తి యోగం. కర్మ యోగం వేరు, కర్మ సన్యాస యోగం వేరు.
అది బ్లాక్ ది పైన ఇవ్వకండి.
సన్యాసించటం కదా మెయిన్.
ఫలాన్ని సన్యాసించడం.
కర్మ ఫలాన్ని,
కర్మని కాదు.
You do the karma, but you have to.
కర్మ ఫలాన్ని మాత్రమే. కర్మ ఫలం వస్తుంది, కర్మ చేస్తే కర్మ ఫలం వస్తుంది. ఆ కర్మ ఫలం మనది కాదు.
ఓకే దాన్ని సన్యాసించాలి. ఓకే గుడ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. అదే చెప్పాలనుకున్నాను. Provided he gives us the time for the detachment. అంటే provided we take the time rather than he gives. Both ways. When we are fortunate, he'll give the time. But when we not that fortunate.
Yesterday's sloka is that only. Krishna dwelling in our heart, he gives the knowledge by which you come to me. Krishna will give you step by step guidance. He will give. Jnana deepena bhashvataha.
When you start chanting and doing devotional service, it will come. Those are, tiny steps you're taking first, and then slowly, you will progress. So first is these things. First is understanding that we need to do this. That is the first step.
Okay.
So
nice.
No, it's okay. No. No, we actually thought of doing 2 slokas originally, but because
if there are no questions, then